And now, I will read you an ancient legend about having your own true voice, allowing others' opinions to be irrelevant. There was once a village called the Village of Borrowed Voices. In a valley cradled by an old Asian mountain range, there stood a village where no one spoke in their own voice. The mountains were blue in the way distance makes things holy. Not one blue, but many layers of indigo, soft slate, and pale smoke fading into the horizon. At dawn, they carried a cool, brushed color like watered ink. By afternoon, they deepened, rich and steady like dye set into cloth. And in the evening, they dissolved into mist, as if the sky had slowly lowered itself to rest upon their shoulders. From the valley floor, the peaks seemed endless, folding into one another like quiet waves. The mornings arrived with thin fog drifting through the bamboo and cedar. Roof tiles caught the first light. Tea steamed in small cups. The air smelled of earth and rain that had fallen long ago but never fully left. But here, in the village of borrowed voices, the people spoke carefully, as if every word had already been chosen. At birth, each child was given a small wooden box, each box passed down generation to generation. Every child's box was different, but all were smooth at the edges from generations of touch. Inside each one were slips of paper, phrases gathered over time, words of approval, words of warning, words that had once kept peace. The children learned to speak by unfolding the papers and following the messages. Be careful, don't be too much, stay likable, fit in. As the children grew, they learned to choose their words from the box. It kept life predictable, safe, approved. No one questioned it. Until one year, a child was born whose box arrived empty. All of the generational messages had emptied. It was a bare wooden box. The villagers were concerned. How will this one know who to be? They whispered. So they tried to help. They offered extra slips of messages. Be realistic. Don't embarrass yourself. People are watching. But the child kept losing them, not on purpose. They simply slipped from the box while climbing trees over the river, laughing too loudly, or asking strange questions no one else asked anymore. As the years passed, something unusual happened. Without the weight of borrowed voices, the child began to notice things others had forgotten. The way the wind sounded different at dusk. The way ideas appeared when no one was trying to impress anyone. The way their spirit felt within them. And when the child spoke, their voice carried something unfamiliar. Freedom. Some villagers shook their heads. Some were uncomfortable. But some felt a quiet stirring in their chest, like remembering a song they once knew. One evening, an elder approached the now-grown child and asked, "Aren't you afraid of what people think of you?" The grown child smiled gently. "I used to be, before I realized most people are too busy wondering what everyone else thinks of them." The elder stood very still, hearing and feeling the depth of what was just said. The child, now a man, said, "Release all the borrowed voices that were never yours." The elder, with fingers that were slightly trembling, opened the box. Hundreds of borrowed voices stared back. The two closed their eyes, and as the elder lifted the box above his head, letting the wind take them all, even the last one that said, "Never stop listening to the borrowed voices," flew away. The papers scattered across the valley like migrating birds, flying through the air, dissolving almost instantly into the authentic, dynamic landscape. And for the first time in many years, the elder spoke without choosing a slip. The voice that came out was quieter than expected, but it was real. And that was enough to change everything. And that is how the village began to change. Not all at once, but enough. Because it only takes one voice, unborrowed, to remind the rest that they have one too.